While traveling abroad, it is always interesting to see all the various styles of architecture that different cities have to offer. The buildings of each city tell a story of its history and culture. This is especially apparent in Seville, Spain, where visitors will find numerous buildings with unique architectural styles. Seville, also known as Sevilla in Spanish, is the capital of Andalusia, located in southern Spain between the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. Spain is known around the world for its rich culture of passion and artistry, and nowhere is this more evident than in Seville. The city of southern Spain is home to tapas, an appetizer or snack in the Spanish cuisine, bullfighting, festivals, and flamencos. The city of Seville has a very warm average temperature over the year and is a typical Mediterranean climate. It has low rainfall yearly, and you can see how they adapt their buildings to account for the heat as well as the dry weather. Temperature during the summer rises regularly above 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit. While the city experiences mild winters, the temperature drops to an average of 6 degrees Celsius or about 42.8 degrees Fahrenheit. The city of Seville has changed many times and has changed powers, and that can be seen in this image. Seville has seen both Christian and Muslim reign, which has a huge impact on the culture here. During the Age of Exploration, Seville was a major port city which saw a lot of trade from the Americas. Seville never developed major exports and heavily relied on these trade relations. They've experienced periods of economic prosperity as well as ruin. Today, Seville's population is overwhelmingly of ethnic Spanish descent, with an increasingly mixed population of medieval Moors, Romans, and pre-Roman Iberians. The type of architecture that flourished in this area was the mudhar, which was a result of the Muslim, Jewish, and Christian cultures combining over time. It is typically made of brick or earth materials and is highly ornamental. The top picture is from the Alcazar Royal Palace. Spanish architecture emphasized the idea that buildings are extensions of their surroundings. Traditional Spanish farmhouses are called cortijos and are located primarily in the south of Spain. They were typically used for agricultural practices and are built in protected areas. These pictures are some different angles of some typical cortijos. Different types of Spanish houses are made of different materials and characteristics, but often modern properties will still incorporate traditional Spanish features. Home construction in Seville was primarily done with mud brick known as adobe. Adobe's unique characteristics make it ideal for arid climates. Let's discuss a few elements that are usually common in all Spanish houses. Exposed beams not only add a rustic look, but are also traditional. This effect is not unique to Spain, but is historically seen as a common method of design. Exposed old beams provide the effect of history and style, as well as adding a cozy theme to the property. These beams often extend out from the first floor of the property to provide a covered area outside for patio use, which offers shade from the sun, for the midday sun or the Spanish rains. Homes were usually painted white, and the roofs were covered in red ceramic tiles. Spanish people, on the other hand, have always preferred stucco as the traditional material because it's simply better suited for the climate of Spain. During the daytime, when it's hot outside, the thick stucco walls absorb the heat and the temperature inside remains ambient. During the evening, that absorbed heat is emitted back into the house. Many structures in Seville are both heavily influenced by the cultures as well as the climate and the weather in the area. There can often be seen large courtyards for ventilation as well as small windows to keep unwanted sunlight out. The building on the left is the Torre del Oro, or Tower of Gold, which has Islamic origins as a military watchtower in Seville. The one on the right is the Cathedral of St. Mary of the Sea, which is a Catholic cathedral built from a converted Islamic mosque. Here we see the Plaza de España. And this picture is a typical street in Seville with many colorful houses on display. The passive house concept is widely accepted in Central European countries and is becoming the preferred building alternative in Spain to achieve nearly zero energy buildings. It provides high thermal comfort levels with low energy consumption. To achieve this, an intelligent building design needs 5 passive house principles. This includes high thermal insulation, high insulated windows, heat recovery, ventilation, airtightness of the buildings, and an absence of thermal bridges. Here are some cooling methods used in Seville. Of these include evaporative cooling, cross ventilation, and night ventilation, which can be seen through these diagrams. Seville managed to grow into a modern city without losing its historical color. Renovations that suit the modern age have created a brighter, unprecedented sense of spatial expansion, with windows created on the south side to ensure a view. Here we see a couple buildings. The building on the left is taking advantage of the shading, evaporation, and thermal mass in order to passively cool itself, while the image on the right is a project designed to make use of solar canopies over constructions to create entire passively cooled public spaces. These are images of the setas de Seville, or mushrooms of Seville. This is currently the largest wooden structure in the world and is mainly timber, concrete, and steel. The primary design purpose for the structure is to shade a large area to protect the harsh Spanish sun throughout the day.